Warning, you are accessing a file from the Legion of Global Security concerning an extremely hazardous anomalous location. Sharing of information contained in this file or sharing the file itself with civilians or unauthorized legionnaires will lead to execution, cancellation of benefits, or erasure of identity. Those who are unauthorized, you have been warned. If you are viewing this file, it means you are either looking over the management or are staffing the containment zone around the Lost Valley, aka the land that time forgot, aka Forrest Galante's wet dream, aka Christopher Nolan's Jurassic Park. The LGS was tipped off to this location by reports of dinosaurs and other such creatures attacking people and livestock and consuming them, including some actual footage that was a pain in the ass to remove from the internet. After sending a small expeditionary force, turns out these dinosaurs and other such creatures were real. Thankfully, this was a pretty rural area of Colombia, so not many people had seen them or gotten snapshots of them. If this was any closer to large cities or, God forbid, news cameras, this would have been a lot worse. LGS operatives were able to single out where the dinosaurs were coming from. A single valley, or I guess bowl of mountains would be a better word. Not only was this where all the dinosaurs were hanging around, it also had a perpetual storm cloud above it, meaning that you can only see the top of the mountains. And upon further investigation, this confirmed our theories that this was in fact where the dinosaurs were coming from. And not only was this just a valley full of dinosaurs, later expeditions would conclude that this was a pocket dimension. Once the clouds and the fog is past, you can really see the pocket dimension in, well, its mapped entirety. Truth is, we don't know how long it goes on for, and based on the changes in geography and the myriad of species that both do and definitely do not match creatures from our own fossil record, it could very well be infinite and could very well stretch into other universes. April 14th, 2015. The following is a post-expedition debrief and interview conducted with the paleontological expert hired by the LGS for this mission. He was accompanied by 2 military operations legionnaires and the Salamander. In the interest of the protection of identities, our paleontological expert will be hereon referred to as Dr.Doe. Our 2 military operatives will be referred to as Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. The Salamander will keep his usual codename as the Salamander. Dr. Doe's voice in this recording has undergone a vocal distortion and masking to protect his identity even further. Playing interview now. Describe to me the details and events that occurred during the expedition with as much relevant detail as you can remember.
We began our descent and passed through the cloud that covered the valley. Not only did the visibility drop a few meters, but the air became noticeably hotter and more humid.
What happened next?
We continued down the mountain and the fog cleared pretty quickly actually. And I'm not sure if this is my mind playing tricks on me, but the valley seemed noticeably larger and the mountains...
Doctor, please stick to the relevant details of the expedition.
Right. Well, further down we saw what looks like animals fighting. They look like theropod dinosaurs.
Could you tell what species or genus?
Indeterminate species.
And as you continued down the mountain?
As we got closer to the base of the mountain, we heard growling and howling of some large animal. I thought they were buffalo or like cattle at first, but no, they're dinosaurs. A whole goddamn herd. I couldn't believe it at first.
Doctor, please stick to the details.
Yes, sorry, my guess is they are Styracosaurus, based off the horn and the overall size. From what I could gather, there were two males battling each other, using their nose horns in fencing and jabbing maneuvers. The larger of the two was definitely the older buck. It had more scars and it was way bigger than its rival. And there was a third male that the old buck had fought and wounded.
And why did you decide to reascend the mountain?
We decided to leave because across the stream, we noticed a set of eyes and jaws looking at the injured male Styracosaurus.
Could you identify this new creature?
It looked like a Ceratosaurus, just with a very exaggerated horn.
Thank you, Doctor. As your expedition continued without incident, I have no further questions for you. But do you have any for me?
Yeah, I have one.
What is it?
What the hell is happening here? Why is there a valley full of dinosaurs?
I don't have an answer for you yet. However, your cooperation and discretion will be heavily rewarded via funding for your university, your museum, and your continued fossil expeditions and research. Does that sound like a deal?
All right then.
Debrief and interview end here. As Dr. Doe pointed out before he was reminded to stick to relevant details, visually, the valley looked much larger beneath the clouds, hinting at a pocket dimension, or some other anomaly relating to the valley's topography. This, along with Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, carrying compasses and dimensional shift detectors. Compasses, whenever entering pocket dimensions, usually go haywire for a bit, as they're still being pulled towards our dimension's north and the north of the pocket dimension, which may or may not have a north. However, the pocket dimension being observed here definitely does have a north, and it seems to be an inversion of ours. And then the dead giveaway was our dimensional shift detectors, a device we've quite literally designed to pick up shifts in the fabric of reality or detecting pocket dimensions such as this one. This next recording is a post-expeditionary debrief and interview done with the Salamander over a second expedition into the Lost Valley. Salamander took with him the Spaz, a compass, a dimensional shift detector, and some basic camping supplies, as he stayed the night in the Lost Valley. He will also be entering from the opposite end of the valley, with the first expedition entering in from the south, and his expedition entering in from the north. Expedition started June 15th, 2015, and ended the next day. Begin interview.
Yeah, so I walked through the cloud and into the valley.
Did you notice any changes in the environment?
Yes, it got a lot hotter and more humid, I guess. The mountain seemed a lot shorter in the valley than it should.
You came across what looked like a strange watery ecosystem. Describe it to me.
Although it was very steep, not sure how to describe it. It looked like a river system. I think with huge platforms like boulders and gaps of water that were about 1 meter wide. And crystal clear water, probably 100 feet deep.
Then what did you do?
I kept walking, probably a mile or so. The gaps began to get wider and the water got deeper.
You were then attacked by a dinosaur. Describe your actions.
Yeah, I hit it with the butt of my gun. I guess I wasn't used to its large flying back, because it backed up and roared at me. Then it showed up.
What do you mean by it? Do you mean the larger predator that attacked you?
I'm not sure the kind of dinosaur with a sail on its back, the spike or whatever the hell it is. It fucking leaped out of the water and ate the first dinosaur, so obviously I ran, because even though I can regenerate, I was not planning on being that sailback's dessert.
And as for mission protocol, you chose not to engage with that, which is a first for you. But what did you do afterwards?
I ran for about 2 miles or so. Didn't see much, but the humidity became less awful, and it got cooler, quiet. Pleasant, actually. Of course, the trees were gigantic, at least 150 feet tall, and the bark was like a rock, and you could actually climb straight up the trees, or at least I could. Anyway, I see some little flying things. I think pterodactyls is what they called them. They were like pigeon-sized and made a lot of noise. Noisy little buggers.
And that's where you set up your camp, in the large trees. What happened next?
Then night began to fall. The forest came alive. There was not a bug, bird, pterodactyl, or other creature that was quiet. Then I heard some other sound. It didn't sound right. It was like a coughing sound. And I heard something like jumping, climbing, and breaking of branches. Then I heard it land on my tree. The coughing sound had stopped, and it sounded like something was scraping against the bark. Then I heard its breathing. Yes, I let off a dragon breath round, and for a split second I saw it. It looked like a demon bird from what I could see. It was the ugliest damn creature I ever saw. Yeah, it fucked off, but I felt like it didn't go too far.
Normally, I would chew you out on violating mission protocol not to engage or threaten any life forms you encounter in there. But in this case, I'll make an exception. What happened once the sun rose?
I got terrible sleep from the sounds of the forest to the lingering thought of whatever the hell I saw. I've never been more glad to see the sun. I looked up at where that thing was, and the tree was covered in scratch marks. I didn't realize it then, but that monstrosity was about 6 feet above me when I scared it off.
What did you see once you looked down from the tree?
On floor's floor were some fat, featherless chicken things. They were eating some sort of berry and were kind of cute. Come down and just looked at the surrounding area for a while. Then the chicken things went ballistic. They started screeching and running deep into the woods. I looked from over my shoulder, and the sailback was in the woods now.
The sailback, as you call it, then approached you.
I guess it smelled me because it kept sniffing the air and looking for something. I tried hiding, not sure why though, because its body slammed this tree, which was like 8 feet thick and at least 100 feet tall. Damn near ripped it out of the ground with its claws and liquefied my left sides.
You were lucky enough to have a moment to recover.
Not sure how or why, but I had time to regenerate my arm and ignite the rest of my flares. I turned and it was behind me, so I looked it in the eye and let off a dragon breath round.
Do you have any thoughts on the remarkable strength and durability displayed by this creature?
I know animals can sometimes be born with superpowers, and I'm well aware of the strength kaijus have. But this thing was unreal. I probably put a dozen slugs in it, and the sailboat definitely bled and was hurt, but that damn thing wasn't going down anytime soon. I think the brightness from the flares being exploded by the dragon's breath round did more than actually trying to hurt it.
Your attempt to blind it was effective?
I did something to it. It started blindly flailing about. I ran. There wasn't a chance I was sticking around with the sailback. I've never ran so fast in my life. Yeah, at the edge of the woods, I found what I'm guessing was a dead longneck, probably the sailback's breakfast. No issues on the way back, except for some falling rocks when I tried to get out, but they weren't a problem. Yeah, I can draw that bird thing. You got a pencil or something?
Yes, we can most certainly get you a pen and a pencil or paper. Do you have any questions or requests for me, as I have no more for you?
Please tell me y'all have a backup super suit for me. I got a mission to kill some thugs in Sao Paulo for smuggling kaiju parts.
End interview. As of August 3rd, 2015, a 30-mile radius containment zone has been set up around the Lost Valley. This is to keep unwitting civilians, intrepid explorers, and most importantly, news cameras away from this location. The Spinosaurus, or at least animal that resembles a Spinosaurus, is an anomaly in and of itself. It is supremely large, strong, and durable, and seems to have a very fast metabolism. At the moment, there is no explanation for this. This could A, be a predator native to the pocket dimension, and there's either enough prey, or perhaps its metabolism fluctuates throughout the year in a way that's able to sustain a predator this large that would require this much energy, but as no tissue samples have been taken, and there has never been another one of these encountered, we aren't ruling out the possibility that there is a population of Spinosaurus within the valley, and this is a individual with superpowers. Or this could be a kaiju that's either ended up in the valley millions of years ago or recently and has adapted to look like a Spinosaurus. As we only have 2 expeditions to collect data from, we may never know the answer, as a 3rd expedition is still pending approval. We have also been able to capture a handful of dinosaurs that had managed to make their way out of the valley and were living on the surface in our dimension. 4 of which being Styracosaurs, a bull and 3 cows, along with 1 Albertosaurus. It should also be noted that occasionally flocks of pterosaurs fly above the clouds in our dimension, but speakers playing the sounds of predators and helicopters hazing them have made sure that they fly back into the pocket dimension. At the moment, the captured dinosaurs are being held in holding pens while we try to figure out a way to put them back in the valley. Dr.Doe is scheduled to come in on the 2nd Tuesday of every month to inspect our captured animals. Additionally, if a 3rd expedition is approved, or we are somehow able to set up a monitoring system for the Lost Valley, Dr.Doe will prove an invaluable asset to the discovery, research, and mapping of the Lost Valley. When the salamander was attacked in the woods, we were unable to get any visual data on the creature, although audio was heard. This is his artistic depiction of the creature that approached and attacked him. Aside from the attack and scrapes on the branches of the tree, there has been no trace nor sightings of this creature.